I'm Endorsed Spell to Write and Read trainer, Liz FitzGerald from Northern California, and I'm here today to finish our 5-part series on goal planning with Spell to Write and Read. So, we're going to talk about teacher prep today. You need to prepare for teaching. Now, this applies to any subject that you're teaching. Sometimes you can just open a book and you can read a script, and that's nice, that's great. But sometimes it doesn't make sense when you do that, or the kid doesn't know they're part of the script. I know I used a math program that was like that, and when I read aloud my part of the script, just the way my brain works, I didn't have a clue what I was reading. And so if I had not done some prep ahead of time and looked over what it was I was supposed to be teaching and how I was going to explain things, our lessons really didn't go very well. So regardless of what you're teaching, whether it's history or science or language arts, it helps to do some prep ahead of time. So how is your teacher prep going? Now, with Spell to Write and Read, we highly recommend that you build a master teacher's log. If you've already done this, if you've already put the WISE list from A to Z in your basic, primary learning log and your Black learning log, great. You have got a great handle on it. You are well prepared. If you haven't done that yet, then what I recommend is that you work on that and you stay about 3 weeks ahead of where your student is learning. So let's say you're in list E, then with teaching your student, you're in list E, then I would suggest that your teacher log be on FG H1 and possibly even H2. And that way you're ahead of where you're teaching. The purpose for that is so that you have a chance to work on what you're going to teach the student ahead of time. So if something happens and you don't get to your planning, maybe somebody got sick and you didn't get to sit down and do your lesson planning, you've got that cushion of your prep already done. Another reason that we recommend that you be ahead is so if you have a question, you don't understand something, maybe you're going to be teaching a new concept and you don't understand how to teach it or something about that concept, then you have a chance to come ask questions before you actually need to be sitting down with your student and teaching that lesson. So we recommend that you be 3 weeks ahead of where you're teaching your students. How are you doing on that? Have you built a routine in which you spend time in your master teacher's log working on material to stay ahead? Maybe this is new to you. Maybe you've heard this idea before, but you haven't done it. Okay, you need to look at your calendar and when can you sit down with some uninterrupted time? Oh my gosh, with some moms, that's a real treasure, isn't it? But some uninterrupted time where you can work in your WISE guide, you can work in your master teacher's log, and you can be doing that prep ahead of time. Another question I want to ask about teacher prep is, are you seeking support in the different places where we have that available for you? So we have an awesome Yahoo group. I'm going to put links to everything that I'm mentioning in the video description for our YouTube video. If you're seeing this on YouTube, look below. I'll give you the links to these places. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, I'll also put this in the comments below. But we have an amazing Yahoo group. And the author, Wanda Senseri, and other trainers like myself, as well as over 3,000 members, get your questions and people will pipe in and they will help you and they will answer your questions. We have a lot of information already there for you in the files section. We have examples of how to dictate words, and just a lot of information is there for you in the Yahoo group. We also have a Spell to Write and Read Facebook group that a lady named Kim, I believe Kim, started, and that's a place for you to pop in and ask questions. We have our YouTube channel, and there are several videos already up there I have more videos available for you on my Facebook page. I'm in the process of trying to get those over to the Endorsed Spell to Write and Read YouTube channel. But until those are there, there's lots of videos for you on my Facebook page. And in fact, I've done several Facebook Live videos where I've addressed a lot of the core foundational concepts that you're going to be using on a regular basis. And so that Facebook page, the videos section, is a huge supply for you of information. One of the things I want to talk about, and that is my Facebook page. So I have a lot of people that pop in and they'll ask me questions on my Facebook page. And right now, that's a tricky situation for me. And I'll tell you why. I love to help. I love it. I absolutely get excited when I'm able to help somebody pinpoint something in their teaching, or point them to where the answers might be in their books or the tools that they're using. I love that. And I fall into that all the time. Somebody asks me questions and I want to help. The problem is right now I'm supposed to be working on the lesson plans. And when I get busy getting into a dialogue with somebody and helping answer their questions on my Facebook page, that stops me from making progress on my lesson plans. And I know you guys are waiting for those and are excited about them. And I want to get them out to you. So what I'm asking is, go over to the Yahoo group or go ask questions on our support group on Facebook. There are several of the trainers that are on the support group, and they pop in. I pop in now and then and answer questions when I have time. And there are lots of people that are available to answer on the Yahoo group. So there's a support system that's out there for you. And so I just want to nudge you in those directions. Again, I'll put the links for those in the comments or the video description. Another thing in your planning is maybe you're using the Wise Guide Enrichment Activity Worksheets. And when you do your lesson planning, are you looking ahead to which of those worksheets you're going to want to use? If so, I would encourage you to go ahead and make the copies now. When you sit down to do your 3-week lesson planning, look at what is it I want to accomplish with the worksheets and get those printed out ahead of time. Put them in a file folder or some other kind of paper management so that you have those ready when you sit down to do your lesson. And the last thing I want to ask you is, do you have some kind of accountability? Do you have some way to be accountable to somebody for how you're doing? I will tell you, every year when my husband and I would sit down and we would plan out how we were going to homeschool for the new year, I would ask my husband about our what's called a private satellite program. In California, we're required, there's different ways that we could homeschool, but one of the ways was to be part of an umbrella school. So we were legally accountable to a school for homeschoolers. And I would ask, do we need to do that again? And what we found was, yeah, every year I needed the accountability. I needed somebody who was asking me every 8 or 9 weeks, where are your grades? How are you doing? Is there anything that you need help with? I needed the accountability. And I found in my homeschooling journey that whenever I was accountable, I did far better at teaching my children than when I was not accountable. So I ask you, do you have some kind of accountability? Do you have a friend that would be willing to check in on you and actually say, you said you wanted to do this. Come on, let's get back on track. Not a nag, not somebody wagging their finger at you, but somebody who lovingly cheers you on, somebody who will lovingly challenge you to get back on track. So do you have somebody like that? Maybe you want to find an accountability partner. You can go on the Yahoo group, you could go on to the Facebook group, and you could ask, say, I want somebody to hold me accountable. Is there somebody that's also looking for an accountability partner? And try that out. So find somebody, maybe a supervisor if you're in a school setting, or if you're in a homeschool accountability school type setting, maybe a friend, find some kind of accountability, and then schedule when you're going to check in with each other so that you can make sure that you're staying on track. All right, I hope you've enjoyed our goal setting series. If you have some suggestions, I'd love to hear them so other people will benefit from your ideas as well. And I would love to hear how you're doing. At this time, I'm not available to be an accountability buddy for you, but I'm going to check back with you guys and ask questions in about 3 weeks. How are you doing? What's going on? What needs to change? What's going well? And how can we help you? All right. Thanks so much for joining me for this 5-part series in goal planning with Spell to Write and Read. And I look forward to hearing about all of your amazing progress this year. God bless.